Peace, everybody. Sorry we're behind. The charge on the computer fell out the thing, and so uh, lost the charge. So I had to. Thus, we lost being set up. But it's cool. We're here now. We're about to get started. We're gonna put these phones on mute, and we're gonna get right into it. Um, this episode of African Spiritual Resistance is the reading of the year episode. Okay, that's reading of the year part one. The reading of the year is quite lengthy, so we'll do part one. If you want part two, you hear the rest of it, just let us know. I mean, we're gonna do it anyway. but it's always good to have information from your folks of what they think. We're gonna go to it now. I'm fine. I have to pull up my own so I can. All right. So we're gonna get right into it. First of all, what is a reading? Okay, and I don't say reading. I know people say it, and they when they send it to us, it says reading of the year. I say divination.
Or consultation. I say consultation or divination.
Yeah, I always say divination. I don't say reading. But people do. But the reason I don't, a lot of times, it's like tarot card reading. It's not that kind of thing. The proper term is divination. Okay. The Ifa divination system, which we do, it makes use of an extensive corpus of texts and mathematical formulas. It's practiced among the Yoruba communities and by Africans throughout the diaspora. Okay. And some non-Africans also practice it. But throughout the diaspora, Africans throughout. But it began, the Ifa divination system, that is, with the Yoruba people of Nigeria, southwest Nigeria. Okay? In contrast to other forms of divination that employ spirit mediumship, Ifa divination does not rely on a person having oracular powers. Right? So we don't have any supernatural powers or anything, but rather on a system. No psychic abilities. We're not, like what's his name, Professor X, anything like that. But rather on a system of signs that are interpreted by a diviner, which is called a Babalawo or an Iyalogun. The Ifa literary corpus, called Odu, right, consists of 256 parts subdivided into verses called essay, whose exact number is unknown as they are constantly increasing. So the Odu are living. There are 256. In the essays are constantly, our stories become part of the essay. Okay. Somebody told me one time years ago, a priest with questionable skills. So they call it essay. That's where they get, when they call it essays, when you write an essay, that's where it comes from. I said, no, sir. Essay is Yoruba. Essay is not Yoruba. It's from Western, probably from some Greek root. I haven't really gone deep research, but I know it's not the same thing. Like stop it, stop that. So it's not the same. So if you're teaching your students that, or you run around espousing that, stop. That's bullshit. Okay. But it's 256 Odu, subdivided into verses called essay. The exact number is unknown. And there are around 800 essay per Odu that's known. So you're talking about 256 times 800. It's a lot of knowledge. And there are Babalas who, no Babala knows all, or Yanipa knows all of the essay in the Odu. But there are older Babalaos who know a whole lot. They're living encyclopedias and dictionaries of this knowledge. Okay?
And that's why they all come together. It's not just always one person that does your reading.
Right.
It's a group of people that come and give information.
Particularly if you're being initiated.
Yes.
You get divination.
Mm-hmm.
Several when you get initiated. And you have several priests there. Okay.
Many, especially elders.
To give essay on your Odu. Each of the 256 Odu has its specific divination signature. Okay. If you see 111 1111 1111, that's one on the right, one on the left, that's Iyalogun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you'll know the different ones based on what you see. 1112, 1112, that's OD major. So it always depends. No.
You said 111.
I said 1112, 112. That's Ogunda. 1212, 1212. That's OD major. Okay. So once you learn the first 16, the 256 becomes simple because it's just adding one to the other. Okay.
122.
1221, yes. Odu. Woo boy. I have to actually throw it and look at it. 1221 is supposed to send it out like that. 1221, 1221 is OD. Yes. Sorry. Woo boy. All right. So anyway, they each have a signature, right? Which is for either single lines or double lines on the right, for single lines or double lines on the left. All right. And that's determined by the diviner using either sacred palm nuts or divination chain. Now, if you just get the 16 major Odu, you can also use cowrie shells. Okay. But to get the 256, you got to use sacred palm nuts called Ikin, or you have to use the divination chain, which is called Okpele. Okay. The essay, considered the most important part of Ifa divination, are chanted by the priest in poetic language. The essay reflects the client's contemporary issues and unresolved problems of the past. Okay. People say, you fortune tellers? No. So telling the future is impossible because you have not been to the future yet. So you can't, people say, well, it tells you past, present, future at once. Your future is completely malleable because it's not here. I mean, it doesn't even have to get here.
It hasn't existed yet.
Right. As we're talking right now, when we first started talking, that's in the past now. Right. We can't change that. What was said then. We can't change that.
Right.
Right now, in the present, that's why when you divine, it's called Dafafum. Dafafum, throw down in the here and now. We're dealing with the here and now, but your past can affect it. Right? If I walk into this room, had stubbed my toe, and I sit down to speak, and I don't curse. I'm a righteous man. Yeah, I'm a righteous brother. I don't curse, but I stubbed my toe. And I said, "God damn it, shit! Shit!" See, it changed my whole righteous character. See, and so my speech becomes different, right? So your past can change. Shit, my past has changed my speech after they had to pull my teeth out. My speech is different. Your past affects your present. Your present affects your future. But your future is your present. Because once we're in the future, it's the present.
Right.
Yesterday, we would say, tomorrow's the future. Well, we're here.
And it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. We're in the present. So the future is always the present, y'all. Okay. So anyway, just want to make that clear how that works. The essay reflects the client's contemporary issues and unresolved problems of the past. Now, how does Ifa work? Is it magic? Is it psychic ability? Is the Babalawo or Yanifa like Professor X reading the client's mind? Nope. And a quick point on that. For those who say Professor X is Martin Luther King and Magneto is Malcolm X, stop it. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and all, they ain't give a shit about, other than maybe afraid of Malcolm X. They ain't give a shit about King and Malcolm X. And Stan Lee jumped on that goddamn thing when somebody thought that was the truth. He said, that's what King. And then he said, yeah, because we've always been concerned about the plight of black people. Get your ass out of here, Stan Lee. That was bullshit. It had nothing to do with King, and it's an insult to compare Magneto to Malcolm X. That's an insult. Magneto was a Jewish dude who cared about mutants and their abuse, if you want to make that correlation. But he's a stone cold murderer. Stop that. Stop that bullshit with that. And Professor X was nothing like King. King wasn't running a school for children that's got these issues and all of that. Stop. King wasn't crippled. Now I ain't talking about physically crippled. That crippled that represents something when you're talking about in art. I'm an author. So if you write a character that's crippled, you're writing them as crippled, if you want to use that term, excuse me, disabled, as they're disabled in life or disabled spiritually or disabled emotionally. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why. So stop that. That's not true. You're absolutely wrong in that. Okay. Anyway, so how does EFA work? You have the solutions to your past and present, and you determine your future. But because of ego, because of your view of yourself, when I say you, I'm talking me too, my wife, all of it. Because of your view of yourself, which is not a completely accurate view, by the way, we cannot see those solutions clearly. But subconsciously we can, because now the ego is not in the way of the subconscious. Now we're talking about, you get into that, the super ego, all of that. But anyway, thus the symbols that occur on your divining tray are from your spirit. Spirit and mind, the same thing. We talked about that before. And the diviner interprets that. Okay. So whatever comes there, you throw it, gets whatever. It gets Otua Meiji, one of the greatest Odu,
of course,
in the world. Otua Meiji, okay? When you get that falls, and they know for you, it's talking about, okay, it's possible court litigations coming up. There's a possibility, and do not lie. I ain't talking about to your enemy now. But do not lie. So always be truthful, straightforward in the way you talk.
The person is destined to be a leader.
The person doesn't be a leader, and they will speak straightforward in the way they talk. Okay, because that's something they should do. Well, that may fit somebody you know. Okay, on here. So Otua Meiji, if you're born under Otua Meiji, you're pretty much the best thing smoking. Out of those 256 Odu, the other ones are great too, but Otua Meiji is something else. So anyway,
of course.
So it's your spirit, your mind that causes the formation of the divination tool, which the Babalawo Yanifa interprets. Okay.
So when we talk about the readings of the year, we're talking about the collective consciousness of the people. So the reading or divination applies to all of us. The Odu Ifa that came out for this year is called Irosun Sa, and that's Irosun on the right and Osa on the left. In Ifa, we read from right to left instead of left to right. This particular Odu came with Ire Aiku.
Ire is blessings.
Yes, it's blessings of, and Aiku simply means long life. And also, I want to mention that this reading is not something that we just came up with, or it's not a reading that me and my husband we did together. It's a reading that came from Nigeria. Every year,
the priests from all over the world were there.
Every year, there are a lot of priests that comes to Ile-Ife, Oketasa, to perform this divination for the world. And it's giving us things that the world should do to avoid things, and for the world not to do. So things to do and things not to do, so that generally the world will be great or better for everybody.
Right.
So the first Odu, fortunes. On the issue of blessings, Ifa says there is need to make sacrifice and therefore appease our ancestors in their burial ground. The items for Ebo includes a rooster, cola nuts, calabash, money, and gin. After one has made the sacrifice, 6 cola nuts will be put inside the calabash and covered. The person will take the calabash and gin to the burial ground of his or her ancestors and pray and leave it there to the next day. The next day, he or she will open the calabash, pray, and sacrifice the 6 cola nuts and gin to the ancestors. On this, Ifa says, Akope eleju ni bohun olorun, cast Ifa for my bomi. He had his fortunes covered in the calabash. When he was longing for fortunes, he was advised to make sacrifice. He complied. It is the very day we open the calabash of cola nut and the calabash of fortunes that are open. So in this Oduity 5, this is something that you definitely want to kind of go with a priest or somebody that really knows what they're doing to do this.
Yeah.
This
So,
particular Odu.
um,
And any of these, if you all are trying to do any of this stuff here, you can reach out to us and let us know which part that is close to you or that you feel like you want to do for you or your family to make your year to be better.
all right. Number two, essay number two, we're talking about fortune. And this, so all this we're talking about fortune, bringing fortunes to ourselves, right? And fortune is not just talking about money, bringing uh, good people, good comrades around, right? Uh, Fortunate events, different things like that. Now, so because there's so much, this will be part one, dealing with fortunes today. And next week we'll be dealing with part two, which is protection. Okay. So, second essay. There will be a lot of blessings for us this year. To attain this, Ebo, which is sacrifice, is needed as well as appeasement of Ifa. The items of Ebo include 2 rats, 2 fish, 2 hens, a goat, and a pangolin. Now, this would be done in Africa because a pangolin, as we all didn't know that, but a pangolin is a scaly anteater. Okay. And we don't have them in the United States, as far as I know. We don't have pangolins around here. Now, somebody told me, man, we got to get a penguin. No, 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 brother. Read that again. It's a it's a pangolin. A pangolin is not a penguin. A penguin is a bird that lives, I believe, in the Antarctic, and we can't get them easily either. But a pangolin, it's even harder to get for us. Okay, so it's a pangolin. The pangolin will be used to appease Ifa with the goat. After the Ebo, after the sacrifice and the appeasement, we need to be closer to Ifa. On this, Ifa says, Agboni Jeun, Sibi Kindo, Irosun, Yawo Eyin Osa, cast Ifa for Olofin, who is advised to hold on to Ifa, hold on to Okpe, and be blessed. Akika, hold on to Okpe and be blessed. Akika, it is he who holds on to Okpe that receives fortunes. Akika, hold on to Okpe and be blessed. Akika.
Number 3, for people whose path are being blocked by enemies, make sacrifice or Ebo is needed, and there is need to appease the Iyami. The Iyami is our spiritual mothers in heaven and here on earth. The Ebo includes 4 pigeons, gin, palm oil, money, and a big rat. After this sacrifice,
Not big rat, not like from your hood. It's a giant rat. Okay.
after the sacrifice, the big rat will be used for Ipese for Yami. Irosu Sara Gara Odoju Dipira cast Ifa for Rumula, the historian, when he was facing war from spiritually powerful women. I have given you what you want. Release my fortunes. I have given you what you want. So in essence, what Ifa is saying, if somebody is being blocked by some powerful women, they need to make sacrifice in order to the Iyami, to the mothers in heaven, so that their roads and their doors and their fortunes can be released.
You're catching hell from some powerful women. One, work on yourself, okay, and the way you treat women.
Definitely.
And two, um, you need to do some spiritual work, okay, to make sure everything remains cool or becomes cool. Number four, there might be frustration from rulers, leaders, or the government, but it will later turn good for the traditionalists. Leaders should not maltreat their followers. Ifa said, and we know we've been mistreated by folks who are supposed to be leaders of us, and we're certainly, I think, all frustrated from rulers, leaders, or the government. Okay, and I have no leaders in the government itself, but some may consider themselves having that. If I said, Peter, what about the president? I have no leaders in the government, but
Although they
but here it's considering them. It's talking about them, others like them, politicians, the police, the government. It says it clearly. Okay, all of those they work for the state, the agents of the state. So leaders should not maltreat their followers. Ifa says many people, when it says should not maltreat, that's absolutely, you should not allow yourself to be mistreated either. Ifa says many people will be free of servitude this year. After liberation from bondage, people will live well. After liberation from bondage, people will live well. Now it's not like pie in the sky. After we liberate ourselves from these bastards, then it's just magically we just living well. That's just as magical as Professor X and Magneto. It doesn't happen that way. It takes work. Okay. But certain obstacles got to get out the way for our work to even come to fruition. Okay. So after liberation from bondage, people will live well. We should always appease our Ori, our head, and Ifa, and we dealt with Ori before, and Ifa every week. When it's talking about Ifa, it's talking about Orumila. It's talking about the spiritual. It's your destiny, but we're talking about the spirit of destiny, the spirit of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Somebody said, "Hi, can I ask a question?"
So you should also study.
So ask your question.
Who?
Tristan Hunt.
Yeah, write it in there, and then we'll deal with it in just a second. Ipa says we should also use edible things to appease our Egbe. Egbe is the society that we all belong to a society. We say society in heaven, right? It's a I belong to Iyalogun, which she does too. Iyalogun, that's a society of Ogun, society of warriors. But there are many societies, Egbes, that we can belong to. Appease your Egbe, and we'll deal with Egbe in one of these episodes, okay? A little bit later down the road. But use edible things, fruit,
candies, cookies, right. Banana. Right. Those are edible things.
Right, not edibles, my brothers and sisters that you think of. The story is about Origbemika, who was serving Olusin. I love this story, very familiar with it. Origbemika used to appease Ori for Olusin. Olubemika would also appease Ori for himself and pray that his Ori should take him to a better place in case there was any. Take him to a better place in case there was any better place. Okay. People heard him and reported to Olusin. He's praying, he go to a better place. I ain't talking about heaven. I'm trying to get the fuck out of where he's at, serving Olusin, because he was a servant, and be somewhere better. People heard him and reported to Olusin. Yo, snitchers, snitches, you're snitching. Olusin was angry and said there could never be any better place than his palace for Oribemika. Sound familiar? We want something better than all. There's no better place for you than this. Okay. No better, like Malcolm X said, what better house than this, right? This is what they say. He made a coffin. He made a coffin. Oh, the scene was cold. He made a coffin and put Oribemika inside. He threw the coffin inside a flowing river. The river carried the coffin to a town where they were looking for a stranger to enthrone as king. They saw the strange item, the coffin. They opened it and were surprised to find a man inside. He was then installed as the king. They saw this as a sign. Oh, we've been sent by the Orisha sent us a king. They made him the king. Okay, Oribemika. He had prayed, I need something better than this. I got to get up out of Olusene's spot. Okay. Funny enough, this town where Oribemika was enthroned was superior to the town ruled by Olusene. After the coronation of Oribemika as the king, all the vassal towns under him came to pay homage with tributes, Olusene included. Oribemika could not be recognized by Olusene because the face of the former was covered with the beads of the crown. So Olusene's, Oribemika's crown, it has, and you see your king's crown, it has these beads, so it hides their face. Okay. He asked Olusene about his subject. So Oribemika said, what about your subject, Oribemika? What happened with him? And Olusene said, people reported him. They reported his ass to me. I threw him in the river. You talking about he was looking for a better place? He was just loyal. I threw him in the river. It was then that Oribemika removed the beads, and Olusene was surprised to see the king. It's like, oh, shit. On this, Ifa says, Badiye Singh, Bioro Singh, cast Ifa for Oribemika, who was a servant of Olusene before a long time. Come and meet us in misfortunes. In such condition, we meet people who follow Orunmila. Now, somebody said, how can I ask a question? Still looking for your question, Tristan Hunt. Laughing out loud. Honor and respect. Peace, everybody. Peace, David Silber, Raquel E., Tristan, D. Ominiki, Jadarian, Chimuranga, 40 J Blaze, Justice. Peace, everybody. So that is the story. Yefua Balogun. Hey, welcome, family.
Welcome, family.
Global Sisters Media, welcome. Now, when Olusene mistreating his servant, oh, you want to go someplace better? I seen you someplace better. Heaven, goddammit, put him in a coffin. Made a coffin. So, unfortunately, Oribemika knew he was in trouble. Like, damn, he put me in a coffin. Put him in a coffin and then tossed that in the river. That was meant for him to die. But he didn't die. He went to a town that was more prosperous. They installed him as king. And now Olusene has to come. He's a vassal of that town, right? So now he's exposed, as a potential murderer. But he had no problem. He's my servant. They reported him. They told what he said. I threw him in the river. Mm-hmm. And now you're talking to the person you threw in the river. Mm-hmm. Oops, who you have to give tribute to.
And Ifa is telling us here is that we should be appeasing our Ori. I think we did a lecture on Ori. Yes. So you all can go back to that lecture if you missed it.
And so what could be a misfortune becomes a fortune.
Exactly. So that your Ori, your head, will be taking you to promotion, to elevation, to success. Right. So number 5, good character is needed to receive blessings. Appeasement of Ori is very important this year. People should not go out or go to the market anytime they appease their Ori. So anytime that this year. So anytime you decide, oh, I need to appease my head, don't, either go before the market or afterwards.
No, not after you appease your Ori.
No, like the next day.
Yeah.
The next
So and market also is not just market.
It's
The
like
club, the any place where you're
any
buying and selling
shopping,
goods,
yeah.
going to Kroger, Jewel,
Walmart.
Walmart, and I say Kroger. I ain't put no S on the end, y'all. Like we love to do. Jewel. It's not Jules. It's not Jules, family. It's Jewel. It's not Kroger's. It's Kroger. just so you know, I don't care if people say my sister. Oh my gosh, she put an S on everything, right? I'm surprised she don't put an S on our last name. Yeah, I'm Alicia Swans. I'm surprised she don't put an S on it. But anyway, if you go where you're doing shopping at, if you are going to appease your array, if you go shopping today, don't appease your array on the same day. Okay.
I mean,
or you could do it after you gone shopping. You're in the house.
Right.
Don't if you do your read, don't go outside and go shopping.
Yes.
Okay.
Individuals should take note of the days of the most popular market in their respective towns, and they should not appease their ori on those days.
So it's also
and
like
that really applies.
What do you call them? Conventions, stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be that too, right? So that I mean, like Balogun is saying, a market or something like that, like convention. But also, this more to me applies to more people that live in Africa that have those type of events.
It does, but it applies here too.
But I mean,
I know some people, especially during this summer. And I used to when I was heavy on the convention scene, always going to these different conventions.
Yeah, I mean it's like a market too. You got to be buying stuff there, so that's another way to take that into account.
And in fact, all of the parts where you do buy, they call it the market, the artist market,
right?
The vendors market.
So if you're gonna do that, wait till you go home and then appease your head. Right. The story is about Orunmila and others who wanted to choose destiny and character. It is said that the same day and time when one chose destiny at Edo, coincidentally,
yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
The story is about Orunmila and others who wanted to choose destiny and character. It is said that the same day and time when one chose destiny at Edo coincided with the day and time for choosing character at Iyalogun market. If one chose destiny at Edo and he chose not to meet up to choose character that very day and vice versa. Therefore, it is advisable to do one and postpone the other to the following year because it is once a year. Orunmila chose Ori, destiny at Edo, and did not bother to go to the market for character. Those who attempt to do the two together lost both. The following year, Orunmila went to choose character at the market, while others then were able to achieve just one, and there was no opportunity again for them again. Therefore, Orunmila was the only person choose both Ori destiny and Iwa character. On this, Ifa says, Ikuro Orita ni Osenu, Sonso Solako, cast Ifa for Orunmila when going to choose his destiny in the city of Edo. When going to choose his character at the market of Ejibomokun, it is Ella Orunmila who has character. Many people who have chosen a good destiny, they do not choose good character. It is only Ella Orunmila who has character. So on this, what Ifa is saying is that the reason why that's why you should only do one or the other. Don't to avert losing both. So if you're gonna appease your Ori, don't go to the market. If you want to go to the market, don't appease your Ori on the same day.
All right. 6. Ifa sees all fortunes for us. Okay, I see.
Long life, good health, prosperity, success, elevation. Those are all fortunes.
A good relationship,
children.
Ma, don't do that. Don't do that to me. So, yeah, children, as you see, so it sees all fortunes for us. We should always make positive statements and pray for good things for ourselves and others. Always make positive statements. That's hard for a lot of us to do. And pray for good things for ourselves and others. Ifa says, whatever the priests say will always come to pass. Therefore, there should not be negative utterances. So we shouldn't speak ill of people, this year. And that's hard for me when you got some clowns, but I'm working on myself. Ebal, sacrifice, must be made with 4 pigeons, honey, gin, cola nuts, rats, fish, hen, and money. On this, Ifa says, Pasan Wara, one owl is surely greater than the other. Ifa revelation to the people of Irosun Sara, when they were longing for good things. They were promised of all fortunes, but must make sacrifice. They complied. When Ifa priests predict fortune of riches, one will surely be rich. Pasan Wara, some owl are surely greater than others. And so it's also telling us, be careful of who you study with and study from in any field. And you find a good teacher, don't get too arrogant because, my teacher's the baddest thing since sliced bread. Well, they may be good, but the master blacksmith in one town is the student blacksmith in another. There's always somebody better. And so if there's always somebody better, is it linear? I don't know. Is somebody better all the way at the top? I don't know. We may not, because we don't know everybody. It's impossible for us to determine that. Who's the best of everything in the world? We can't really determine that. That's rooted in our opinion. Okay, it's rooted in our opinion. But so be wary of who you learn from as well, but also don't be arrogant, because somebody's always surely greater, and watch it, and that's why you have to be careful. So if somebody's telling you curse that mother F out, I remember people were doing poetry one time and it was awful. And this brother, who happened to be a priest, the same priest, I talked about questionable learning, told me to go up there and shut them down, just start doing poetry over them. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Disrespectful as hell. I'm not doing that. So that was a negative utterance to tell me to go do that, right? Especially, I didn't throw the event. I was a guest just like them. I was getting paid to do poetry just like them. I just go over them like I'm just a better poet or something. You know what I mean? And they could have just broken into some more poet and just tore my ass up. I leave there embarrassed. Oh boy, they beat me. I wasn't going to do that to myself, and I wasn't going to do that, period, even if I thought I was better than them. I did think I was better than them. I wasn't going to do that. But
Ifa says elbow is needed for great achievement. Elbow is needed with 2 cocks, 2 hens, 2 snails, hook, blade, ewe emu, cotton, thread, palm oil, solid cornmeal, and money. After this elbow, Ifa will be appeased with the hen and snails, while Ori will be appeased with the snail and the cock. On this, Ifa says, when we make little sacrifice, we see little results. When we make an enormous sacrifice, we see an enormous result. It is the enormous sacrifice that can solve problems of great people. It is big cloth that is good for Ifa priests to cover the body. Ifa revelations to Akika, when he was unable to achieve success. Akika, oh, Akika, Akika, hide your head. Do not harbor any past issues. The nail swims, so the snail's life is comfortable. So, again, if you're making small sacrifice, Ifa is saying that you will receive, or little sacrifice, you will receive little results. If you're making big sacrifices, you'll receive an enormous results. So just keep that in mind.
And
you only can do what you can do.
You only can do what you can do afford when it comes, and that's in life, period. When we talked yesterday about, should a man always protect a woman, right? If she's being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked, if you're physically able, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man that is not physically, I talked about even myself. People see me out there, they'd be like, they would expect that, right? I'm gonna do that. But when my back was jacked up and she was there was nothing. Even if somebody tried to harm you, there was very little I could do to protect you. Physically, just wrestling and grappling with somebody. So now, do you feel brokenhearted, no longer feel loved, or overwhelmed with what? Yeah. No, I don't just to let that person know. No, I don't feel brokenhearted or overwhelmed. I do. You may feel overwhelmed with this here deletion I do to you right here. Like this here. Boo, boo. I told you I was pretty good with my finger, but I'm pretty good with my fingers. Do you feel brokenhearted? Blah blah blah. Hide that, and let's move on now.
And also, Ifa is saying not to harbor past issues. So just keep it moving. Somebody did something to you in the past. Don't even worry about it. Just keep it moving.
Now, let me see. We turn anything into a group, communal entity. Make everything plural.
That's true.
All right. So, for one to be guided, this is number 8. For one to be guided through difficult situations, appeasement of Ori is needed. Your head. You hear a lot. Your head needs to be appeased, right? Also, the river must be appeased. On this, Ifa says, Ololo, the Ifa priest of Omi, the water, cast Ifa for Omi, the water. When Omi was coming from the celestial realm, it was advised to make Ebal to have impact. It made the prescribed Ebal. Instead of Omi, the water, to miss its path. The head of Omi, the water, will pave way for Omi. So make sure you appease your head so you don't miss whatever blessings you're supposed to have. If you're supposed to be great for you to make impact, appease your head. If you're already somebody that's great, popular, what have you, you should appease your head because there are things that will be coming at your head. People needing advice, you trying to set things up, all of that. Your head should be appeased, right? When I'm teaching martial art class, we're doing warrior class, we're setting up these different videos,
doing so many different things.
You could be overwhelmed. Yeah. So always appease your head. That's right.
And your spirit of the head will help you. Also, it'll help you to achieve greatness.
Yes.
Okay, number 9. Ifa says it is very important to have helpers in order to be successful in life. For people to come across helpers, elbow is needed, sacrifice is needed. Also, for businessmen and women, farmers and other people who engage in other businesses or the other, to profit and be blessed, elbow is needed. The items for sacrifice includes a cutlass, 4 pigeons, honey, money, and on this, Ifa says, Asase la lorum, long intaugiri lase, Ifa cast for Atare, cast Ifa for Oloboru. When they were going to the farm, they was advised to make sacrifice. It was only Atare who made the prescribed sacrifice. Atare had someone or somebody to take care of it. It's making jest of Oluboru. Had Oluboro had someone to take care of it, it would have produced more seeds than Atare. And I don't know if you ever seen Atare, but Atare is a small pod. Let me see if I can get it.
It's guinea pepper. So she's going to try to get a chart so you can see what it looks like. But so when they talk about pods, it's guinea pepper. It has several seeds inside the pods inside of it.
There's a thick black casing that covers this. This right here is the inside of it, the Atari. So if you open it up, which I don't think you see it. You see this? This is how it looks on the inside of the Atari. And I'm just gonna take like a small piece off.
So there's pods in there.
So it's so many
those seeds.
Little seeds.
Those are peppers. Like pepper seeds inside.
So many.
And you all know a pepper has seeds inside of it. That's what gives it its heat. You can't see your hand.
I'm trying to bring it up. Where is the
camera's right there, but it's going to be too bright. You can
Yeah.
see those.
Sorry.
They're
All
all
this.
little ones. It's a bunch of little ones.
So many. So that's the
So let me grab a
Atari.
single one.
And all
Let
these
me
are
try to grab
covered
a
with
single
little
one.
peppers.
Yeah, each
Atari
side.
is called guinea pepper.
Oh, you can't see. You won't be able to see it in my hand. It's so small.
Looks like this here.
Yeah, they can't see it. It's just little, but
It's a little tiny little
and now I
thing.
got peppers all over the computer. But anyway, so though that is the first part of the reading of the year, right?
Yes, alligator pepper is also called paradise. Atari. I was told not to drop any of these peppers anywhere in my home by my Bablarisha.
Then definitely don't do that.
Yeah,
Then
don't do that. If they tell you not to, but
there's a reason. Now that doesn't apply to everyone.
right.
Okay. Same way, a person may be told. So those are taboos. Some taboos they can be temporary. A month, 30 days, 7
Yeah,
days.
it may not
Whatever.
be forever.
But so you may be told don't eat fish for 30 days. You love fish. Well, I would advise you to stay away from it for those 30 days, right? You may be told you have to eat fish every day of your life for you to be protected from certain things. And we say, well, how is that possible? One, we say Ifasi's around corners, so there are certain things that will come up for you that that Babala may not have an explanation for. Some Babala may. We said earlier, every Babala, is not the same. Some Babalas are more skilled than others, right? And that's in the Odu. But there are reasons. That priest you're with may be a good priest, but they may not have the reason why you should do that thing. But if you trust them, I would say do that thing. Yes, I would say do that thing. Now, when it said don't, drop any of those peppers, I would advise you, don't drop any of those peppers. But
not even to have it in your home.
Right, but like say Ominiki on here, for example, if you drop one of those peppers, that hasn't come for you, so that you don't have to worry about that. All right. Any other questions? Did the person ever ask a question? Oh, bless you, baby. No bending that day. Yeah,
right.
We turn anything into a group. Let me see. Alabama, North Carolina. Peace.
Oh, Tristan Hunt.
Yeah, Tristan Hunt. Hi, can I ask? Yeah, he or she never asked. They never asked a question. Any questions? Any questions at all? Now, as we said before, the way divination works is not psychic ability. Okay.
Somebody's asking, is cleaning?
Is cleaning or similar to purification? Cleansing your ori. Yes, the same. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's the same thing. Now, cleaning and cleansing your ori are different. You should clean your ori at least once a week. Wash your damn head, your hair, and your scalp. Not just your hair, y'all. Some people got big hair, right? Don't just clean that scalp too. And I'm deadly serious about that. Your head and your body, if it's not clean, it's not functioning the way it should.
Yeah.
So clean your ori. Make sure you clean your ori. Now, cleansing your ori. There's certain things you have to do. Okay.
We do have your ori
is fed certain things, and my wife does a lot of ori cleansing. Feedings, same thing. Okay.
Because sometimes we just when you're doing ori work, sometimes we cleanse it with different herbs and washes, and sometimes we just appease it by giving it an offering.
Right.
So it's different things that we do, and sometimes we do both. We cleanse it because a lot of people that come to my shop, they're coming from, who knows what. They got all types of baggage and issues or depression and all that stuff. So we want to cleanse it and then appease the head so the head can have, balance. So you can think clearly, so you can sleep well. You know, right?
Yeah. But out throughout, before I was saying appease throughout
Appease, yes.
the reading of the year, saying appease your ori.
Yeah, your head is important during this for this year. The spirit, your destiny is important. Your mind is important. Whatever it is that you're trying to do is going to take you to higher places.
Yes.
So you need that boost, and also, make your hair look nice. Get a nice haircut.
Yeah, and that's good for your ori.
That's good for your ori.
You feel good. It's good for your ori.
And when your hair looks good, you look good.
Or
And you feel good.
If you don't have no hair, just take care of it. I got a little bit of hair, but if you're bald, make sure you take care of it. Take care of it. Ouch,
you can get a head
your,
massage,
Right. I like those. So, and I bought one just where it makes you completely clean. Because if it's gonna be bought, make that mud completely clean, and like my father used to have it completely clean. And then you put a little shea butter on that mud. Mm-hmm. That feels good too. Even though you have hair. Now, of course, if I had an afro, I feel better. Or my wife would let me grow locks like I want.
Oh boy,
that'd be great for my ori.
Oh wow, is cleansing the ori necessary after someone breaks a taboo? Getting a reading is necessary after somebody breaks a taboo because you need to whatever. Like there's some type of repercussion sometimes from when you break a taboo if you know you did it.
Right.
Like if it was a mistake, you may need to still get something done just to avoid, something from happening. Because sometimes it's like if you don't know, you won't be held accountable for it. But sometimes if you know that you absolutely broke a taboo or you did it, hey, you got a problem.
And sometimes if you don't know, so just be careful. Like for me, I had a certain taboo I couldn't eat. It's a certain plant. Okay. And try not to just tell your taboos willy-nilly out in the world either, because you don't know, you never know who's watching. But there was a certain thing I couldn't eat for a week, I think it was. And we had a guest at our house. She cooked. Said, Baba made this food, right? And well, I can tell you this one because it's not mine. I wasn't supposed to eat any corn for a week. She made fish. She fried some fish. Said, oh man, yeah. And this one can cook. So I'm eating it. And then all of a sudden, I get super dizzy. I can barely see the computer screen. I'm all fucked up. And it wasn't like she gave me something. It raised my blood sugar or something. I was about to go into a diabetic coma. And it wasn't that. I called my wife. I said, dear, dear, I think the sister poisoned me. She said, what? I think she poisoned me. Oh, okay. I can barely see. I'm lightheaded. I think it was crazy, man. So she said, I don't think so. I said, I would like to think not. I'm telling you how I'm feeling. I think I'm about to pass out. She said, what did she make you? What did she give you? I said, she fried some fish. She said, what was it fried with? I said, cornmeal, of course. I said, oh, shit. I was supposed to eat any corn. I thought I was going to leave here. Okay. And that's not the other time I was drinking this green drink. Be careful, you think you're drinking healthy shit too. It was healthy for other folk, but it had it. It had a certain thing that is my taboo. Okay, like permanent taboo. It has it in there. I thought I was having a heart attack. I said, I think I'm having another one. Having a heart attack. I'm crawling up the stairs. She said, what in the world? What you were doing so good? What happened? She said, what you eat? All I had was this certain green drink. She says, just lay down, I think some go to for you, something, right?
So
So I
that's why
start
we're
feeling
saying
better.
that if you have a taboo and you don't know that you've taken something, it can still affect you.
Right. So after she went to, I felt better, and then I looked at it, and it had my taboo in it. So always know what you're getting into. Should you read everything, the ingredients, everything you get? I said, goddamn right. Yeah, but that takes too much. It takes too much to do that when you can leave here. And let's take away taboos and define everything. You reading the thing, and it just it's so unhealthy, and you don't bother to read what you're reading, what you're eating. Come on, or drinking. Now, uh, one thing that's easy. You pick up a cake, okay, and listen to this now. This ain't just my opinion. You pick up a cake, and that cake has 40 ingredients. Put that shit back down. Don't buy that. Put that shit down. Cause you ever had a cake kicked by your mama? That's got 40 ingredients in it. You seen your mama, she got 40 ingredients out and she putting 40 ingredients to make a cake. That shit would be terrible. No. There ain't no 40 ingredients. 5, I can see that. 7, maybe. Past that, you're getting a little too much. So the things that I made for you too, they got 20, 30, 50 ingredients, stuff you can't pronounce. Put that shit back. You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing. Go get something with 3 ingredients, 5 ingredients, the same thing. It's going to taste better. But it may cost more. It may cost more. But I always say this about that. Well, I don't have money. I got to eat cheap. You fuck yourself up. You got to pay somebody. Now you got to pay the hospital. Okay. Now, or your family got to pay the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to pay some money. So, save and get the best you can eat. Eat the best you can.
Yeah.
The best you can.
Spend more money on your food.
Yeah.
And less money in hospitals.
In hospital on fun, so-called fun shit.
Yeah.
Spend more. You bought that 40 ounce of beer. You could have got you some better food. You got you a 12 ounce of beer.
Or even a higher level, better quality beer.
Well, you buy a better quality, it's more money again. See,
right.
But now we live like that. But what I'm saying is, some people, but even when we were financially, hurting, we would still try our best to eat the best we could, because we got to be here. All this training that I do and teach, but I could just get taken out by, and that was Kalanji spanking my ass on that. I used to eat hamburgers every day. Now, if I'm bullshitting, she'll tell you if I'm bullshitting.
Not every day, but a lot.
Well, if it wasn't hamburgers, it was pizza. So every day I was eating some kind of beef. Now, had to be. Yeah. Most say they got beef. They got beef. I got beef too in my stomach. That was how I was. I was eating every day. Right? End up having a stroke. Everybody calling and checking on me. Hope you feel better. Blah. Kalanji called. Wasn't no. Hope I feel you feel better. Be like, come on, comrade. You know better than this. You know better than this. You too valuable. You up there having heart attacks and strokes and shit. Notice when I had the heart attack. Heart attacks and strokes and shit because you eating hamburgers. Really? Really, the hamburger is more valuable than you and the people. I was sitting there feeling like a goddamn child just got spanked. Because that was absolutely right. Mm-hmm. So now my wife will go overboard. It'll say
no.
Some will say
I already done told him, like, look, you don't need to eat that.
Right, but she done gone overboard. I can't eat that. I can't goddamn look out the window at 7 p.m. She's all kinds of shit I can't do because she says it's not healthy. And then so I rebel, right? But ultimately she's right. He was right. So, that's your comrades telling you that, your family telling you that. Well, that's the same when you foster stay away from this thing, right? It's really your head. When we talk about getting divination, your head is saying, "Shit, this is bad for me," but you ain't gonna just say that yourself. So when the priest interprets that, know that that is you crying out. That's you giving the solution for your health, for your life, for your safety, for your prosperity. Okay, so it'd be good to listen to the self that we didn't even know had the solution to
Rocky
this
Hill
thing.
said Belay was right.
Belay was right about what?
Probably about eating that beef.
Oh, Rocky Hill, he said Belay was right. Yes. So yes, Belay, you were right too, right? And I've said before, I was almost out of here a few months ago, and my wife and Belay came through for me. Oh, I'll be gone. I know that. It bothers my wife sometimes that I'm not afraid of death. I don't want to die. But I thought I looked good. I just said that. So Belay came to the house. I thought, that's something look strong. He ain't gonna see that I'm all fucked up. Even though he bring the things, thank you. So I'm standing there. And Belay and Iyalogun talking, and I'm like, man, he gonna have to leave because I'm about to pass out. But I'm act strong. So I'm thinking I'm standing strong. To find I couldn't. I'm just laying against the wall, right? So I thought Belay had no clue. Belay thought, I'm strong him up. And he's like, he's gonna go back and tell everybody, Balogun stronger than we thought. Belay, I say he told him, oh shit, we gotta pray for our brother. We gotta pray. I'm like, damn, Belay thought I was out of here, huh? I thought I looked strong. I did not. Right.
This is from COVID, y'all.
And so this is why you need other voices, because that was my ego. So I look strong. I didn't look strong at all. But to me, I look strong in the mud. I'm thinking, they won't know no different. No. The reality is, and that's where he finds the reality in your face. Okay. The reality was I did not look strong. I needed that help that he brought over there. And big black clots coming out of my nose, was coming out of my head. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Not this big, but they were huge, like that wide.
That should not come out of your body.
That shouldn't come out of you, and they black like that. They were that wide and about that, They were huge. I'm like, oh my God. But after it came out, I could breathe again. I could breathe. And then shortly after that, I couldn't talk for probably about 30 minutes, an hour. And my hand was doing all kinds of crazy stuff out here. Boy, eat well, exercise.
Take care of your health.
Take care, because this stuff ready to take you out of here. Okay. I'm telling you from experience. At home. Always keep your herbs at home. Keep your,
Even if you think COVID is done, still make sure that you have.
Yeah, because we thought it was done.
Mm-hmm.
We went through Omicron. I thought that was the worst. The shit I went through back a few months ago was worse than that. Okay. Closest to looking weak bone you've ever looked. I bet. Closest to feeling weak bone I ever felt. So yeah, take care of yourselves out here, y'all.
Be blessed.
Be blessed. Next week is part 2, protection. And you'll see what he'll do is what we're talking about, just ending with, they'll do is actually getting into a few of those things. The reading of the year. Okay. So we'll catch you all next week.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Be safe. Be strong. Stay black or whatever it is you may be. Peace.